Before watching the video, don't forget to subscribe the channel and enable bell notification to never miss an update from us.
Hello friends, welcome to Entri. I'm Mizad Shambeg, your quant educator, and today I am going to discuss something related to your economy. Okay, as you know that you're preparing for banking sector examination, that means you have to know about the Banking Regulation Act 1949 as well. What is this act and how it works on the banking sector? It will provide you every detail. Okay, so in this video I am going to discuss something about the Banking Regulation Act 1949 and what amendments are come and what is the overview of that act. Okay, so let's move ahead and let's see what the act is. First of all, let me give you a brief introduction. Here, Banking Regulation Act is a legislation in India that regulates banking firms in India. So basically, it's an organization, or you can say it's an authoritarian which deals with the banking firms in India. All right. Now, passed as the Banking Companies Act 1949. Okay, it is passed as Banking Companies Act 1949. It came into force from 16th of March 1949. So in earlier, first it was introduced in 16th of March 1949 and changed to Banking Regulation Act 1949 from March 1, 1966. All right. It is applicable in Jammu and Kashmir from 656. Earlier, it wasn't applicable to Jammu and Kashmir, but after that, when we annexed into Jammu and Kashmir, we have been involved in banking regulation system in Jammu and Kashmir as well since 1956. Initially, the law was applicable only to banking companies, but in 65 it was amended to make it applicable to cooperative banks and to introduce other changes. So basically, as I have told you that this Banking Regulation Act is an authoritarian for all the banking related issues in India. Okay, and to introduce other changes. Okay, in 2020 it was amended to bring the cooperative banks under the supervision of RBI. Who changes it? Let me introduce. I will tell you in the later sheet of this video. Okay, so, overview. First of all, the Act provides a framework under which commercial banking in India is supervised and regulated. So, basically, the banking system has been regulated by this Act. Okay, and we are bound to work on according to this Act for all the banking for all the banks. Okay, the act supplements the Companies Act 1956, Primary Agriculture Credit Society and Cooperative Land Mortgage Banks are executed from the act. So basically, these two organizations will also come into handy when we are talking about the Banking Regulation Act. Okay, they both have come into this act. The act gives RBI the power to license banks. So RBI, this act, okay, RBI works according to this act and it gives power to RBI to provide license to several banks which have applied for opening a commercial. Okay, have a regulation over shareholding and voting rights of shareholders. So basically, they are also working on shareholders voting right as well. Supervise the appointment of the boards. Okay, so supervise the appointments of the boards and management. So basically, they are also dealing with management and workload related issues. Regulate the operations of banks. Okay, so regulate the operation, so it keeps regulating the operations of banks. Lay down instructions for audits. Okay, so they are also responsible for audits of the banks and all the banking organizations. Control moratorium, mergers and liquidation. So just like as we have seen today that all the banks are getting merged. Okay, some of the banks are getting merged. That means they are merging according to this Banking Regulation Act. All right, issues directives in the interest of public, like they have issued according to Banking Regulation Act, that you can withdraw up to this limit and you can withdraw up to that limit. All right, and deposit that limit. So in 65, the act was amended to include cooperative banks. In 65, cooperative banks has also been included into it under its purview by adding the section 56. Adding section 56, cooperative banks which operate only in one state are formed and run by state government, but RBI controls the licensing and regulates the business operations. Whether okay, so first of all, you should understand that the cooperative banks are under state government, but it can be regulated by RBI. It is regulated by RBI. The Banking Act was a supplement to the previous acts related to banking. All right. So here is the overview of the RBI, or sorry, Banking Regulation Act 1949. Okay. Let's move on and let's see what are the amendments made by our Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. In 2020, Finance Minister introduced a bill to amend the act. The bill sought to bring all cooperative banks under the RBI. Okay, as we have discussed, it brought 1482 urban and 58 multi-state cooperative banks under the supervision of RBI. So basically, around 1500 plus cooperative banks has come under the RBI, has come under the supervision of RBI when Nirmala Sitharaman, our finance minister, in 2020 has amended the bill. Okay, the bill granted the RBI to initiate a scheme for reconstruction or merging of a bank without placing it under moratorium. The bill was passed in Parliament. So clearly, from 2020, we have seen that all the cooperative banks, whether we are talking about multi-state or we are talking about the single state cooperative bank, all of them have come under the supervision of RBI. So RBI will be the sole authority for these cooperative banks. Okay, so that's it. I believe this information is enough for Banking Regulation Act. When you read more in the GA section, you will know in depth as well. So till then, guys, thank you. If you like this session, share, comment, and like and subscribe our YouTube channel. And be safe and keep working. Till then, thank you.